All right, thank you so much. My presentation coming up. And honestly, I just took a journey back in history and I told myself, what would I do differently? Perhaps, what would I start doing? Or what will I stop doing? Or what will I sustain if I could go back in time as a young boy starting his career? By the way, I started my career in geology and mineral science, but I knew that my destiny was not to speak to stones, but to speak to humans. So I left that path and I joined the bank, went back to business school, joined the bank, and I'm here in an energy company. But I've learned a lot. And the fact that many years ago, I had the opportunity for my life to be aligned. And Jimmy talked about purpose. Everyone is talking about purpose. Even Amanda is going to talk about purpose because it's everything you need to do. My life is aligned. So if you look at me from a corporate point of view, I'm a learning and development and talent specialist. If you look at me from a passion point of view, I'm a learning specialist. If you look at how I make money, I'm a learning specialist. Even if you go to the church, I'm a teacher by calling. So one improvement in one area means improvement in other areas. That is what happens when your life is aligned. So a few things I'm going to share with you. Number one, in the workplace, you need to build relationships. Let me tell you this. The moment you get to the corporate, it feels like you are the best, especially because you aced your interview, you got straight A's in school. Looks like you are the best thing that has happened since sliced bread. But honestly speaking, not only is this skill of relationship building essential to other skills, it is absolutely crucial for finding happiness and satisfaction at work. You will need to build relationship. 80% of successful managers are successful because they have strong emotional intelligence. You will need to know the 5 domains of emotional intelligence and live by it all the time. It is self-awareness, it is self-management, it is self-motivation, it is empathy, it is relationship building. It is about people. You cannot do without people. I'm going quickly. Number 2, you will need to learn to manage conflicts in the workplace. Honestly, work, it's about problem solving. And every problem in the workplace has to do with either finance or people. So every time, as you work in your corporation, as you get ready to work, you need to learn to manage conflict. And let me tell you something about your manager. Your manager is the person that can make or mar your career. So when your manager is upset with you, he or she might be wrong. The first thing you need to do is to get on our side first and ask yourself, why is she upset? I know that people don't like to do that. Say, I'm an independent person. No one can talk to me anyhow. You really want to be successful? People will talk to you anyhow, and in the workplace, you will learn to understand when they're speaking from. There's an adage in Africa, as we're all Africans here, that what an adult sees sitting down, a child cannot see it on the top of a tree. In the workplace, you will realize that it's not about you. It's about people. And the core of that group of people is the person that you report into, your manager. Number 3, seek clarity and details. Let me tell you one thing. Yes, you studied rocket science, and you are the best. In fact, Elon Musk is going to hire you because he wants to get into the moon. And even though Richard Branson tried to, and he hasn't been able to, right? He's going to hire you to do that. If you're not clear about what you're asked to do, no matter how smart you are, you will fail woefully. Let me tell you what happens to young people. And if you listen well. What happens to us is we know too much and we listen very little. The fact that I'm speaking to you now and you feel like you understand does not mean you understand. There's only one way to seek clarity. Learn to ask questions in place of telling answers. Just learn to shut up. And as a young person, you are very eager. They tell you, we need to do this, you need to do that. You're so smart and you've connected all the dots and you tell me, no, I know what I'm supposed to do. No, you don't. You may know what you already understand, but perhaps that is not what I mean. So you need to seek clarity. So you need to ask more questions to clarify. You need to come back to check that you're on track all the time. The third one is you need to seek help in the workplace. Let me tell you, one of the things that's helped me is seeking help from people that I believe are expert in a thing, even though they might not know about that subject matter as much as I do. See, every time you seek help from someone, you are telling the person, I respect you. Everyone you respect will respect you. Everyone you respect will protect you. Everyone you respect will help you. If I want to get anything done in the workplace, I just tell the person, you know what? You are the best in this area. I need your guidance, and I need you to help me to see this thing this way. Honestly, every time, come to me. I'm a specialist in people development. Tell me, Dr. Harry, I want you to help me design this people development strategy and all that. You're asking for help, but you see, you are boosting my ego. And I'll do anything, especially if I'm a man, right? Men are very egocentric. Some women are. I'm not being gender biased. You said feminism. So you said some people are manicide. We should talk about that these days. Let's go on. And when you're done, show your final work. And yes, you can boast about it. But you see, if you really want to show that you've done something effectively and is good, make sure you follow this process, especially coming back to check that you're on track and then seeking for help. Quickly. I know that they say, in fact, people write it in their CVs. And I do a lot of interviews. I conduct a lot of interviews. And when young people come in, they say, three things they say. I'm a multitasker. I can work under pressure. The moment you tell me you're a multitasker, I already know that you will spend less time on my job. And honestly, you need to learn to multitask less. Actually, multitasking is the enemy of focus. You really want to grow and be best at something, just focus. You know, see, neurologically, anything you focus on grows. Now, if you dissipate that attention, they don't grow as much as they should grow. So you will need to learn how to focus. And how to focus is by multitasking less. I mean, that doesn't mean you will not multitask at all, because it looks, some people thrive by multitasking. You know, I think one of the reasons people have accidents is because they text while driving. Let me confess to you. Are you ready for my confession? Stop recording. Okay, I'm joking. I was driving on Friday, and yes, we were on yesterday because we had to do a lot of things. And I didn't tell this to my wife. Hi, Joy. Because I'm going to be in trouble. Honestly, I was driving at the crossroad, and I was trying to text that I'm coming to meet you, and a call came in because you were telling me you were on tabs. So I was trying to receive the call and respond and text and drive. And then the traffic light, the robot traffic light, turned red, and I moved. Now, I was supposed to turn right, but I was going straight, and there were two cars, one coming like this, one like that, and they stopped. Now, there was no accident. And people would go, thank God, and I would go give testimony. Actually, if I testify of that, I'm testifying of my stupidity. The reason for that was just this. There is time to drive, there is time to text, and time to call. Actually, let me show you something quickly. Let's read this. Did you know that more than 50 years of cognitive science and specific studies on multitasking have shown that multitaskers accomplish less and miss key information? Can I show you another one? Did you know that texting while having a conversation lowers comprehension below that of the legally drunk level? So every time you are texting during conversation, you are comprehending lesser than a drunk. And in some cases, it's equal to not having participated in the conversation at all. Some people have got two phones. And when they're talking to you, but quickly, you need to focus. Now, in the workplace, there's a matrix called the focus energy matrix. And this is how if you can group people into this category, and I don't want you to think about someone else while we look at this. I want you to think about you as we look at this. In the context of wherever you've operated, it could be in the corporate, it could be in teams. Let's see where you really play. So the focused energy matrix groups workers into 4 categories. Category 1, 30% are procrastinator with low energy and low focus. 20% are disengaged with high focus and low energy. Now, these guys, they're very good. But you see, they are so distracted because they are overcommitted and they're full of good intentions. And the last time I remember, it is not your intent. There's something called intent and affect in psychology. It is not your intent that matters. It is how it impacts on people that matters. So no matter how much good intent you have, if it's impacting on us adversely, something is wrong with you. So it's important for you to realize that a lot of people fall into this category. That's why it's 40%, and they're just distracted people. So they're only 10%. Now we've been talking about purpose, right? They're only often 10% purposeful people. Sorry, that's Nigerian way of calling it. Ghanaian, South Africa. Purposeful people with high energy and high focus. Because to be successful truly, you need high energy and high focus. Let me ask you this question. Every time you are writing an exam, what are you trying to make sure you have? High energy, internal energy, and what? Focus. So you need to live your life as if you are writing an exam. Because it's indeed an exam. Can I show you this one last one, perhaps? So, people like to break the rules, you know. They like to, see, these days we blame innovation for everything. Right? Before you break them, please understand the rules. So don't get into the corporate trying to change everything. As a matter of fact, the reason you're trying to change everything is because you are creative, tick. But also, it means that your level of comprehension is low. If you understand well, you will realize that there's a reason Standard Bank has been on for 153 years. There's a reason Fatima Al-Fithri started a university that's, when none of us here were born, right? So, they got something right. Not everything needs to be changed. So why don't you learn what they got right and see how you can make it better? And that's why a lot of times some managers have issues with you because you come in and all of a sudden you are better than all of us. Let me remind you that the manager you are speaking to has been there for 25 years. Now you show up and because they give you airtime with the CEO, you now feel I have arrived, I'm better than the manager. The guy's going to fire you. He will do everything in his power, capacity and capability to release you to your destiny. Feedback. Like they say, feedback is a gift. Feedback, another person said feedback is the breakfast of champions. You need to always, if you want to grow and be the best you were created to be, you need to always ask for feedback. You need to always ask for feedback. In fact, don't ask for it. Solicit feedback. In other words, you're going to go to people and say, how have I done today? I mean, we're going to ask you to give us feedback on the conference so we can make it better next time. We have implemented the feedback we got from 2018. We keep doing that. Because if you really want to grow, champions grow through feedback. I know that some feedback can be malicious. Some people wait for you to ask them feedback. I know. Some people, they just wait for you. So you're asking people feedback, they're waiting. Because when you come, welcome. You are this, you are that. Now, malicious feedback, drop them. But look out for constructive feedback and do something with it. Because the true test of receiving feedback is making a change happen. And that's what it is, right? And accountability. Now, this conference is holding. I've got mentors, and I've got a speaking mentor. Jimmy and my brother and I were talking about it. My mentor told me, Harry, I need to debrief. That's the way he put it. And now, he doesn't pay me. So he's not my employer, but he's my mentor. He said, Harry, I need to debrief the conference with you after the conference. So we've done presentations for this conference. I'm going to have to summarize this conference in a presentation and take it to he doesn't pay me, I'm reminding you, take it to my mentor, and he's going to have to tell me things that I could do better in future. That is accountability. See, if you're not accountable for anything, you will jump into everything. And you will make a lot of mistakes in life. It's important that you start with self-honesty. You have deep values for others. You keep records of everything around you. Then you take responsibility. You do the right thing. You act promptly with care. Did you know that if you fail to accept constructive criticism or don't use it as a tool to improve, you will distance yourself from people who are in a position to help you? Do you know how we feel every time we want to help people? I mean, even people here, you really want to give feedback to someone, but you see their body language, like Edith talked about, and they're not going to even listen to you. What do? You keep quiet. And next time you really want to give them a feedback, you remember how they behaved. It's called the knee-jerk effect. The last time, and you keep what to yourself? Your feedback to yourself. So by refusing to accept it, you're pushing good people away from you. The mentors we have them because we chase after them. We push them to tell us, to criticize what we are doing. Because it's only by doing that we get better. Of course, I won't go to everybody. I know, like I said, I know some people, if you tell them, criticize what I'm doing, you are dead. Like dead, you know. Thank you very much.